Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Saran. In this channel, I share knowledge and practical techniques on trauma healing and everything about mental health. Cognitive distortions refers to those unhelpful thinking patterns that cause us to distort the reality, cause us to interpret the world, interpret the situations in the worst possible way that contributes to our anxiety and also depression. They are usually specifically targeted in CBT treatment, which is cognitive behavior therapy. Today I want to talk about, in my opinion, the biggest thinking error that causes you to stuck in abandonment anxiety, which is emotional reasoning. So let's jump right into it. Nowadays, we have been taught the importance of our feelings. We have been taught to get in touch with our feelings so that we can be healed. I think to some degree, that's absolutely true. And from my personal experience, because I've been going through therapy sessions for many years, and I believe feelings are really important indicators of how we should heal and the directions we should heal. But when I was healing from separation anxiety, when I was healing from abandonment anxiety, those unexplained panic attacks, I couldn't find the reason why. I believe that something bad is really happening because I'm reacting so intensely. Like, I feel like I cannot breathe. I feel like my hands are sweating. I feel like my heart is pounding so wildly. Like, it's hard for me to convince myself that nothing dangerous, nothing threatening is happening. So I have to, out of human instincts, to find something that explains this degree of anxiety. So I conclude that, well, I'm being abandoned under that circumstances. Since we're being taught to believe our feelings, I believe, well, this anxiety happens for a reason. So I believe that this person is really leaving me. Maybe he responded late. Maybe he hasn't returned my calls. Maybe I sense this impatience through his tone. Maybe he forgot to give me a goodbye kiss. I get triggered of abandonment anxiety. I fear that I'm going to be left alone. So when I start to have those strong body sensations, when I start to have those physical reactions, I believed they're true. We conclude that since we feel it in our body, since we feel it in our thinking level, it must be true. So we would be compulsively taking actions towards this disconnection. We would try to call them, we would try to cling to them, we would try to lash out and criticize them for being distant, for being cold, for trying to leave us, for trying to abandon us. Of course, those actions would worsen our anxiety because when we have this big fight, when they feel like uncomfortably being controlled, of course, they're gonna get away. And then this anxiety gets worse because we believed that, see, our assumption is right. And our body believes that too. So next time anything slightly resembles this situation will trigger us even more, which just gets us stuck in the same cycle over and over again. To help you better understand this cognitive distortion, to help you cultivate more awareness towards the thinking error, I list out the common emotions that you might have and the emotional reasoning process towards it. Anxiety. If I feel this strong anxiety, it must mean that I'm in danger and close to being abandoned. Jealousy. If I feel jealous, he must be cheating. Since I feel like a failure, my boss must really dislike my proposal and that's why he hasn't responded yet. Since I feel hopeless, it must mean that I'm really hopeless in curing my depression. Anger. Since my hands are sweating and my heart is pounding so fast, I must be really angry. He must have done something outrageous behind my back. Insecurity. Since I'm feeling so insecure about her, I think I'm really gonna lose her to her friends if I don't get in touch with her immediately. Defectiveness. Since I feel so ignored and unimportant in this family, there must be something wrong with me. I can never compete with my brother. Unworthiness. I feel really unlovable. Nobody's gonna like me. Nobody wants to be with me. So I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life. One thing really helped me was to be aware of this thinking pattern. I wrote it down everywhere in my bedroom. I wrote it like, just because you feel it doesn't make it real, doesn't make it true. Just because you're scared doesn't mean that you can't do it. So actually, I tell myself every day, whenever I feel anxious, whenever I start to suspect that the other person is leaving me or they are disliking me, I would tell myself that just because you feel it doesn't make it true. Also, try to put yourself on somebody else's position. You see your friend every day, right? And because they feel unlovable, do you actually think they're unlovable? Or it's just their mood changing? Like nothing in essence about this person is changing to make people around her to see her as unlovable, right? Another way recommended by a lot of psychologists is that just try to find as many evidence as possible. Like try to be as specific as possible. For example, if you feel like a failure, if you feel like a loser, list out what made you think that you feel like a loser. Like, did you hand in your tests late? Did your boss criticize you? Did you fail to meet deadlines at work? Like, write out the specific things that make you feel like a loser at this specific situation to support your opinion. And you will often find out those things like don't actually exist, right? Maybe your boss actually appraised you of being good. Maybe your boss actually liked you. So that's why he puts you on this position to hand this big job. But when you feel like it, it's hard for you to be rational about it. Try to figure out what actually supports your conclusion. And note that it cannot be predictions about the future. It should be current situation. Like, what have you done like at this moment that supports your conclusion? Instead of predicting, well, I'm gonna be a failure in the future. That's not true. You know that, right? You are predicting, and that's another thinking error. Alright everyone, I hope this video is helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanted to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.